All right. Okay.
Right, no, right. Do you know what camera it is?
For our wedding.
That's awesome.
Our maid of honor, Katie, is going to go ahead and be ready to go first.
All right. For everyone who doesn't know me, or if you just heard, I'm Katie. I'm Emily's maid of honor. I met Emily when I was a junior in high school. Emily had just moved into the Charters Houston School District, which was quite an occurrence since I can count on one hand the number of new people in my grade between kindergarten and graduation. I remember my friends coming into the chorus room and telling me, "There's a new girl, she's a good one, we have to get her." And luckily we succeeded. Emily and I soon began spending a lot of time together during musical practice, going to concerts, and of course, the quintessential teenage girl activity, sleepovers. It was at these sleepovers that I was introduced to the now legendary Rebecca Klug greeting. "Hi, how are you? I'm so happy you're in my house. I'm sorry it's such a mess. Can I get you something?" So more importantly, and at these sleepovers, where Emily and I spent hours talking about crushes, school, etc., we also frequently surfed wedding websites planning our futures. And while this may not be the exact wedding that 17-year-old Emily dreamed of, one thing is exact. She married the man of her dreams. When Emily called me her freshman year of college and told me that she had started dating someone, I knew immediately that this guy was different. From her past relationships, that is, not just different. I have watched your relationship grow from that of a young couple to one of the strongest couples I know, totally ready to face the world together. Brandon, you're such a wonderful person that I am so lucky to call a friend. You make Emily a stronger person by encouraging her dreams, making her laugh, and loving her for exactly who she is. I cannot imagine a better match for her. Emily, we've shared so many wonderful adventures and memories. You're more than my best friend. To me, you're family. And I am so happy that you found someone who compliments you so completely. I cannot wait to see the wonderful marriage the two of you will have. I love you both. To Emily and Brandon.
Cheers.
She's had such a long day. It's about 55.
What? That is super tough.
Great guy. He's up there. Yeah, killer guy. He's up there.
All right, good evening, everybody. First of all, I just want to say how awesome it is to be here tonight, besides such phenomenal people, and to have the chance to stand beside Brandon and Emily on this incredibly special day, monumental day in their lives. And I think I speak on behalf of both of them and their families, and thanking you all for being here to share this with them. I know it means the world, so thank you for that. Emily, I want to start with you. I owe you an apology. I've lied to you so many times, so we need to cover that. So, for those of you familiar with Brandon and Emily's story, you're probably on the same page as I am, and assuming that this probably should have happened, a year, 2 years ago, maybe. Brandon's a very thorough guy, takes his time in a lot of ways, and so Emily would often send me text messages, send my wife text messages, trying to uncover information about the proposal. I was like an inside guy, and so Brandon would let me know. He'd give me a little insight on what was happening from time to time. He was probably still being vague with me, but I had to tell you no when I knew, so I feel like we need to start anew in our friendship that has been previously built on a bedrock of deceit. So, I apologize for that. So here's to some honesty moving forward. Brandon. So, when Brandon called me and asked me to be a groomsman and later his best man, you know, my mind started racing, you know, after the initial excitement and, you know, just the honor to stand by him today. I began to think of this moment and what I would say about him and our friendship and, you know, all the advice I received at this point was, you know, tell a great story, right? Tell a story that helps, you know, the people in the wedding, their guests, helps, you know, encapsulate our friendship and what it's meant, as if that's some sort of easy task. So I started combing in my mind all of the events that Brandon and I have been through together, and a horrific feeling overcame me. We have done some things in our friendship that are awesome, some things that weren't so awesome, but one story really stands out to me. Brandon and I, one summer, decided to go on vacation together with a mutual friend. We went to Myrtle Beach, right? So we decided to take a week. We're going to go down to a guys' week. We're going to have a great time. So we head down to Myrtle Beach, and we settle into the hotel. We check in. We're feeling good. We have a week of just great things ahead. So we're driving down the road, thinking of something awesome to do. And on the left, just this sign of destiny just caught our eye, and it was a go-kart track. Because we're really cool. And it was an indoor go-kart track. So we walk in this place, and you know, we pay for our day passes, which I actually didn't have to pay for. That's another story. And we decide to, you know, give these things a couple laps. So we're racing, we're having a good time, bumping up against, you know, we're testing the limits of this track. Round about the third or fourth race, Brandon, we're about to start. He pulls up beside me, and whenever Brandon, for those of you who know him, whenever he's about to make a really poor life choice, he gets this look on his face. It's this, you know, it's kind of a smug look. He squints his eyes a little bit. It's very serious. Brandon, can you do that for the audience for us? Beautiful. All about me. So he, you know, I looked over and I knew just bad things were to come. This wasn't going to end well for anybody. So we take off, and it's, you know, it's a pretty small track, and a couple laps in, I lose sight of Brandon, and you know, again, it's a small track, so I'm like, where's Brandon? So I'm rounding this turn to go down a straightaway, really intense. I'm in the lead at the time. I'm feeling really good about myself, and I look at the end of the track, and I see Brandon positioning his go-kart to head against traffic with that same look in his eye, and so he decides then to accelerate towards us, and in that moment I'm faced with a choice, right? Do I send my friend's head through an arcade game, or do I brake and do the responsible thing? I chose the former, and so we collide, splinters. We got, you know, delicately kicked out of the go-kart place. So, you know, again, that sample size, right? Many stories that would, you know, kind of follow the same pattern there, but a great decision Brandon has made in his life. Is landing here on this day. And I cannot tell you guys how happy I am for you and how much, you know, Brandon's friendship specifically has meant to me over the years. He's a solid guy that has modeled what it means to be, you know, a great man in this world. He's been a best friend to me, and it's going to transfer into being a phenomenal husband. I know that your marriage is going to be one that I will model my own after. And I cannot be more happy for you guys. Emily, thank you so much for your friendship. Again, you guys are awesome, and I'm so happy to be here today and represent you guys on this special occasion. So Brandon and Emily.